Well, joining me now to discuss the growing art market in China is Peter Loughrey. He's the Director of Modern and Contemporary Art for Los Angeles Modern Auctions. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Let me ask you first, we've listened to those reports there that, there has been a shift to China from the markets, say, in Europe and North America, London and New York in particular, now to China. When did the shift start and what's driving growth in China?
Well, there's a lot of parallels to 40 years ago when the shift came from the United Kingdom to New York. And the shifts really happen when the collectors and the wealth of one area become the focus. And right now, everybody is recognizing that the wealth and the collectors are in Shanghai. So all the major companies are certainly going to be starting to focus on that market.
Right, but auctions are relatively new to China, aren't they?
Yeah, I think auctions in general in China are less than 20 years old, and that can be an asset, but it also can be a challenge. Small auction companies can be nimble; they can act quickly. They have smaller overhead, less employees, but obviously they don't have as much experience either. But really, the small auction companies are taking a big bite out of the big auction houses' overhead.
Yeah, and is the growth in China being driven by volume or is it price?
Well, it's a really ideal supply and demand type of situation. Right now, I think that it's about interest. Interest level is driving so much of the bidding, and if that report is correct, that 40% of the world art market is being sold in China. That's kind of astounding. So I think to answer your question, it's it's the interest level and the wealth there that's driving the prices up.
Right, and then the other side of it, from the sellers' side of it, you have big auction houses like Sotheby's. Sotheby's, for one, they suffered substantial losses recently. Do they have a big presence in China, and is the system the same as they operate in, say, London or New York?
It's a lot harder for them to change their system. So when they emerge in China, it's going to be much the same operation as they transferred to New York and that they built over a few hundred years in London. I think you're going to see some big changes happening, though, because the American market changed Sotheby's and Christie's, and Sotheby's is effectively an American company now. And they certainly have changed their business practices over the last 40 years and will certainly have to change again to accommodate the Chinese market, and including social differences and language differences.
Okay, so Peter Loughrey, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.